Daddy Gaming Show, and I have got a little something for you today. Now, if you notice, I'm in a Halloween costume because my Halloween episode raised a rather interesting question for younger players, of which is the very simple idea of, how do I afford all the stuff I get? Well, to be honest, I'm not a particularly wealthy man. As a matter of fact, I'm broke as a joke, folks. So here's how I do it. I figured out various and sundry ways of gathering stuff, and I want you to get an idea of the kind of things I have, because I have multiple wizards with multiple houses that I've gotten some really cool stuff for. So here's the deal. I'm going to show you a little bit of what I got. This is my Celestian home. If you recognize these things, these little fireplaces and these little Celestian beds and the baths and the sinks all come from the Celestian card pack. Fountains were at the time kind of expensive at the Crown Shop. I had to do a lot of crafting to get the fish tanks, to be honest, but it still adds into what I'm going to show you. All the furnishings, bookcases, couches, things like that, all came from Celestian packs. I can't remember exactly where I pulled the astrolabe. I think I got that from adventuring. These beautiful tables, as well as their accompanying chairs, again from the Celestian pack. Sconces, kitchens, things like that. Celestian wall pack, or packs. And the thing is, typically speaking, they're a Crown Shop item. So I'll take you to the Crown Shop and show you a neat little trick here. Furniture sets. I will take you to the ones that I purchased myself. Very proud of those. We'll say Furniture Pack 2, 4,500 crowns. Now, if you figured it out, I have roughly 2 or 3 sets in there. 4,500 crowns is actual money. That's like $10, I think. I'm not spending that. Gold, on the other hand, it's kind of a lot of gold. So what I'm actually doing, most of it has been through gardening. And I do my gardening off of multiple characters. I'm going to show you... Oh, that came off of the Dragonspire pack. Love that little record player. It does work. Over here, spirit drums. I'm going to need those for probably making that, actually. Carousel. And those carousels and things add into other things like the games and so forth. But here we go. My garden. My beautiful garden. If you notice, it is a tiered or stacked garden. And I'm able to make it work by way of the large casting spells. And, let's see, I don't need to harvest you right now. Music. And the fact that they're all within a certain range next to each other. Now, when I harvest this out, you're going to be able to see a little bit more of how this works. And I'm going to harvest, and unfortunately my machine is... Not my machine, it's my son's machine. My machine can't handle this hardly at all anymore, so... Let me get some bees done. Hey, bees. Love the bees for pollination. We love real-life bees, too, by the way, around our house. Firecat has me plant lots of flowers every year to make sure that the bees are fat and healthy. And if we were ever to start making honey ourselves, well, you know, we'd probably be getting a lot of honey, but whoever takes care of that business in our area is probably benefiting greatly from our home. Okay, gusty winds. I think that'll take care of the rest of it. Let's see, anything else? Now, one thing you want to do is try to make sure... Oh, magic. your plants don't overrun your ability to grow them. Now, king parsley is a crown shop plant. I don't remember if I bought it at the crown shop or whether I won it someplace. I think I actually broke down and bought it because I recognized how useful king parsley would be. Let me show you. There's amber and another king parsley. It gives lots of food cards. There is diamond. King parsley also gives sunstone, which is a very important crafting material, but it gives lots of food, it gives lots of cards, and turns out to be a major moneymaker and produces a situation where your gardening is much more useful over a very small amount of time. Much handier. We're going to do this. La 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 la. La 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 la. I'm going to break into the Trololo song. Couch potatoes, also very useful for that. I happen to win those. And the thing is, this couch potatoes and silver trumpet vines and king parsley and the elephant ears all complement each other, so they encourage each other's growth cycle. Another thing that you can do to encourage growth cycle, if you are so inclined to get a house, is get the Red Barn Farm, which, again, I bought for gold. And if you're like, 125,000 gold, how did you get that much? Not by way of king parsley. King parsley makes it more difficult to do just what I did. First off, you have to buy it. Second off, you need more plots. Thirdly, you need to be able to, how do I place it? You need to have the land and the skills to do it. I didn't start with said land and skills. What I started with was on one of these types of characters, and I'm going to show you very briefly. I believe my life wizard is the guy to show you with. Let me think a moment here. Or is it Mr. Balance? I believe I'm going to show you with the life wizard, because his house, you'll be able to see his garden better. Hopefully it'll be in his regular home. And I'll show you how to make one of these gardens, because it's the stacking of it that makes it work. Hey, Gordon, what's shaking? Yeah, baby. Go home. Oh. This, for those of you who are really new to the game or inexperienced of the game, is a crafted house. I have just recently built it. I built it on my Storm Wizard because I use my main wizard for all these things. You can actually switch your houses through the main bank now, which is pretty cool. You can't have any crown items or anything operating in it, but, you know, not too bad. My son decorated the inside of the house really nicely for me. I'm not doing a house tour on him. I'm trying to get you over here to see this. Oh, by the way, this island here, again, I owe most of that stuff to stinkweed or to king parsley. King parsley in large part because of all the reagent drops. The stinkweed, huge money maker. I can put a ton of money in and get it to go. Okay, so I had to take a break because I wanted to get an extra set of eyes on this to make sure I was instructing you properly.
That, and I locked myself out and had to ring the doorbell.
Okay, well, I didn't want to say that part.
Happens.
He was looking for me. I didn't tell him I was up here. I thought I could hear him better, etc., etc. But here, take a gander at what these guys do for you.
They burp.
They burp. They make your lawn sound like a drunken frat party. Yeah! Yeah, man, we're so cool! Seriously, that's about the extent of it, guys. If you ever thought, I want to go see one of those, just grow a bunch of stinkweed on your lawn, you're good to go. So I want to point out exactly what that did for us. we have to go to the decks, treasure cards. Now, 249 of them. Yeah, they build up very quickly. Every harvest they give you about 10 gold. They may give you a treasure card. Every full harvest, they give you 200 gold, and then 2 treasure cards, meaning each plant yields roughly 4 to 6 treasure cards, and an extra 200 gold. Now, I like the treasure cards because this guy here, and his mom, and sometimes his brother, want gold, but can't produce it as quickly as I can. The technique is simple, but it's a little monotonous from time to time, and time-consuming, but all in all, it works pretty well.
You have a quest.
Yeah, Mr. Dworgen. Now, the thing is eventually there is a spell that will plant everything for me. I just can't so wait to get to it, but I must wait. Even my big guy has to wait on that one.
So, he doesn't have the money?
He will soon enough. I ended up building that big palace, remember?
Yeah,
And I took a lot of my resources up, so when you rush, you get what you get. And that spell is, I believe, 300,000, so it's basically worth 2 houses, but I'll tell you what, it is worth 2 houses. Okay, not my tree house. So yeah, see, that's the planting end.
I got a dragon.
They probably need to know that, though.
Yeah, very important.
How did I stack this? Is probably the next question you would ask if you were a sane human being. And
It's
I will answer
witchcraft!
it. It's witchcraft. Honestly, since we are in this game, maybe that's not a bad answer. I don't know. Actually, very simple. See, you take your box, go click, and you take another box, and it's got to be the boxes with a label on it. The plain brown box doesn't do it. A food label box is what you want. And then you go to your garden building, select a small plain soil, plop it on top. Doink, 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 doink. And then...
Seems like more than actually planting something, they're just beating it with a stick.
You know I would.
Well, isn't that what they're doing? Just
And then the next one. Clank, clank, clank. And the pattern's pretty simple. Now, the thing is you're going to eventually figure out, in this particular case, and see, and then you can line them up all underneath, and then you get 3 patterns of them. One thing you can also do, and which is very handy, choose some kind of innocuous object to put in the middle. In this case, we'll put... Oh, I don't want to put in the magic detector. I thought it was the yarn ball. We'll put some trash. Trash! I don't have anything smaller.
Is it white? Actually, I'm right
Do. Oh, I was looking for something smaller, but garden gnomes are the preferred. You put a garden gnome on the box in the center, and like so, and then pull it away, leaving your garden gnome floating, so when it's time to cast your spell, you align it with your garden gnome, and you have it circled. Now the question is, why don't I make a larger circle? Well, very simply put, the game won't handle it. You have too much circle and too little, how do I put it? Well, it's not power. The spell dissipates and you get an uneven coverage of the intended effect. So if you need it to rain over the whole garden, what you're in reality going to get is a speckling of rain. Like this row and some of these might get it, some of these and here might get it, some of these and here might get it. And then you try and do rain again, and some of the same ones will get it and you'll still miss some. And you end up running out of magic points. Obviously, this is better to do on a larger character, but it can be done very early on to start producing a good effect. So I am going to have to take my house off, and I believe I've got it set up in this particular area. Okay, let go of the treetop giveaway. Or getaway. It's the treetop giveaway! Haha! I got a giveaway on the show today!
No.
No, never. And this is what
We
my
don't like
old
you that
garden
much.
looked like.
We don't like you.
You can actually produce the garden in your dorm room. I didn't have this fancy 3 one. I picked it up for whatever reason. But I planted all my stuff in here, and all I needed to get a full garden was a level 2 pest spell and the level 2 shower spell. And the shower spell, it turns out, can cover about 6 to 9 of them at a time. So you can actually start your fortune in your dorm. What kind of fortune? Well, I'm going to go over to, let's see, Regent Square. Whoops, that's too far. I'm going to go over to the, what is that place? The Bazaar. Bazaar? Yes, it's Bazaar.
What are you gonna craft at the bazaar?
Oh, you know I do need. Let's.
You did this on your main character, honestly, but
I could do it on my main character, and I started it on my main character to show them.
well, I was thinking that because your main character has to get the cool thing, and then also has to get.
Well,
the
hold on. My main character was the start. I showed them my Celestian house to show them the kinds of things and where I purchased. Alex Silverfist is another great place to make your purchases.
Kapow! It's Silverfist.
Yeah. Lovely.
It's like Marvel. Like Iron Fist.
You need to be quiet
Sorry.
here. Here's the smoke screens. Sell more. And let's see. Holy cow, 49,000. You're never going to get the max if you're selling this many, by the way. And there we go. Yep, that's about halfway to a new house. Actually, the third of the way to a really good house, or you can get a cheaper one. Another thing you can sell. I don't sell reagents. I advise everyone not to sell reagents. Crafting is too important if you want cool stuff. We'll go here. I don't need stinkweed from that. I'll take the stinkweed out of my bank. 120 per stinkweed, so each stinkweed has the potential of giving you 400 or 500 per stinkweed full harvest. And as you saw, I had a stack of them, roughly 20 to 30 stinkweed, and it takes some management. You'll learn the tricks and tips of it. But eventually you start looking and going, holy cow, I got a lot of money at my disposal. I can do cool things with it. So I hope that answers my money questions regarding how I afforded everything well enough to where you understand it and can apply it.
Did people actually ask that, or are you just like...
Yeah, someone actually did ask.
Oh, no.
Yeah, 2 people.
Like when it's like, on my channel, it's like, hey, check out my Instagram at blah blah blah, great channel, whatever, generic, probably didn't watch anything.
I get those
Or
too, boo. I
just
never get
general-
advertisements,
Just
but
kind of nice, and then, but no like information or questions or anything, it's just nice, you know?
well, and some of my stuff is just nice. I'm okay with that. But yeah, because of the fact I've got, I will show you who has which gardens. Because of the fact I have not only him pulling money, so he can buy stuff for other characters and pass it through the shared bank, I've got him capable of doing it, I've got her capable of doing it, I've got him capable of doing it, so there's 4 people who can do stinkweed at
Actually,
any given
I think you have
moment,
him
and
set up
usually
for
I
you,
have
Kim.
3. He is only currently set to do derp. He is only set currently to do the larger plants, the medium-sized ones.
Yeah.
So he's able to do the king parsley. He's able to do anything crafting that I might need.
I'm able to hug my dragon.
He's able to go to levels and buy things that the other guys might want but can't get. For instance, if someone needs something from Zafaria for their home, like this guy here has, I can go and have my main character get it and then pass it through the shared bank. So we'll go home. We're going home once again. And I will show you what kind of things this guy does with Zafarian things. I'll also stop by my garden on the way back. Oh, this guy's got the Party Central stuff. So all the party goods I've been accumulating over time. See? Ta-da!
Party!
And I picked up some extra. And I picked up a lot of Christmas stuff. So when a Christmas special comes around, you're going to love the Christmas house. Yay! Because I've got a cool Christmas house. And fortunately, my son was very helpful in making that happen nicely too.
Yeah.
Specifically the house magic tasks.
Castle mage.
And most of the glitching stuff is my territory.
Mm-hmm.
This one is probably my best, personal decoration because I was saying
it's
Zafaria.
weird that I just look in and then there's this big
gigantic zebra butts.
Yeah, in the window.
But yeah, these are things I was able to pick up because I have a guy who could go to Zafaria. So I've got this, level 20 character who's pulling level 40 decor, which is nice. I mean, I don't see the reason to keep my character's decor growth, I guess, stunted. By the way, this is from the Zafaria home pack, which is beautiful, by the way. Highly recommend the Zafaria home packs. Most of the home packs, actually. I can't think of one I didn't like. They all have something wonderful to them.
I love the rubber duckies, don't you?
Yeah, I think I'm going to end up having to do this as a completed house tour later, though. I'm going to finish up my gardening, and then I've got to hunt down a certain rabbit we all know. Nosferrabbit. Anyway, this has been Dartable Daddy. I hope my gardening tips have helped. If you need a more explicit full video, I will gladly do it. Just write in the comments what you need to see. Thanks for watching. Goats out.